Hello. Sorry. This is going to be a collective reading. This is all the signs. So 2 decks I'll be using. Using this bad boy and this other bad boy. I don't know why I said that. Okay. All right, so as always, I've pre-pulled some cards here, and we're gonna get on into it. So, ew, what is that? First card we have out here is the 9th house. So this card is basically talking about learning a new project. It's a very intellectual energy. We have, it says foreign travel, but I think it's more like geared towards like traveling to foreign places that you haven't been intellectually. It's also of a spiritual nature, because it's when you set out to learn something new, it's because you crave the knowledge, and it usually has something to do with a want of knowing something on a deeper level and of a greater understanding, which is in essence a type of intellectual spirituality. And then to further explain that, wouldn't you know, is the Ace of Swords. So this is the After Tarot. So for this particular Ace of Swords, I believe that is a falcon that the hand is holding. I'm feeling called to point out that you are protected in your new venture, your new intellectual venture. This glove is a gauntlet, and it's protecting the bearer from the talons and the claws. And this is also talking about birds of prey. They are hunters. They are pretty vicious and scary in their own right. But with enough knowledge and enough know-how and developing that relationship with the animal, you can train the animal to do your will. So I feel like that is really just talking about this place that you find yourself where you're just doing research, or you're starting some type of new project. You have an idea to do a new project, but you need to do the research first to know what you're doing, or to have good footing, a good start, a new beginning. And also not to the Sword of Truth is here. So you're seeking clarity because you want to know the truth. All right, and then this next card here says, oh, by the way, 9th house, it says seeking. This next card, Neptune, talks about dreams. So this card is almost like the opposite in reflection with all the other cards of the 9th house card here, seeking. Not to say that it's not an opposition where it's like canceling each other out. It's just like the same energy but going in a different direction. So this is like an outward energy. This is an inward energy. This is talking about imaginations, memories, the subconscious, universal love, vision, meditation, spirituality. I'm just getting a veil for it. I said veil for it. Veils. So this is like pursuing something going inwards, where this is talking about pursuing something like very just tangible as far as like gathering information and what have you. It's not tangible in because it's information, but it is a type of power because knowledge is power. And this is just further reinforcing your inner beliefs and your inner worlds, and obviously also pay attention to your dreams. This is tied to a dream that you have, whether it's an actual dream that you have at night or if it's like an idea of a dream that you want to make a reality. And then to further explain that, here is the star card in reverse. So with this star card in reverse, I feel like what it's saying is what prompted this drive to do this research or to start this new intellectual project had to do with a situation that you were confronted with, and you were just like, I don't understand why this is happening to me right now. Like, and you kind of felt alone, and you felt like you didn't have any resources and you didn't really have anyone to turn to. So that's what drove you to start doing the research, but it made you also look inward and start to question, am I really alone? Maybe even questioning your spiritual beliefs. But the star card in the reverse is basically telling you that there's no such thing, like the idea of being alone or separation is an illusion. You're always connected to spirit because you are spirit. You are a spirit in a flesh suit having a human experience. And it's also telling you to pay attention. Pay attention, because when you think that you're alone and that's like you feel like you've been abandoned by, because like you're like, I don't understand why this shitty thing is happening to me. I'm a good person. I do good things for people. Like I don't try to rip people off. I speak my truth. I live in my truth. So it's like, why is this shitty thing happening to me? And if you pay attention, you'll see that spirit's there, and it's actually this shitty thing that's happening to you is because the only way anything can happen to you in your world is if it vibrates at the frequency that you are vibrating. Meaning that if something shitty is happening to you, it's because you attracted it, and you need to look inward to find out what you can do to not necessarily correct it, but to learn from it, to find out what it is, what maybe negative self-talk, again, thinking you're alone when you're not. It's Amira. She's in the water, and water is a reflective surface. And with it being in the reverse, it's like telling you to really just dive deep and trust that you're never alone. And this intellectual journey and these two are like tied together here. One prompted the other, however it might have worked for you, whether it was you felt alone and then you started to like do some like actual research, or like a shitty thing happened to you and then you start to do some research, or start to do some research, and then as you're doing research realized that the things that you thought were alone, you started hindsight's 2020, you started seeing things and noticing things through memory, and had a whole bunch of aha moments and reassured that you have everything that you need to succeed. The next cards here, we have sextile, which is opportunity. So sextile is when it's like opposites come together. So in this case, we're talking about the elements. We're talking about, what is it? water and fire, and air and earth, as an example. So yeah, it's talking about collaboration, opportunity, synergies, creating possibilities, doors opening, having insights, communications, developments. So it's a nice transition here because you're doing the outer work, you're doing the inner work, and what it's doing is providing you opportunity. Because, again, the Queen of Pentacles is here. You have everything you need. The Queen of Pentacles is like the quintessential, like, modern woman. She is usually, like the breadwinner, and she's also providing for her loved ones. And then she's, through all that, caring for her home and her loved ones, not just providing financially, but emotionally, and also finding time for herself and all that. So she's like the modern day superwoman, which I feel in today's society, at least in the US, that is how you kind of have to be to survive. And once you decide that you're not surviving, you're just living, and then you realize, like, look at all the shit I'm doing, and I'm doing it with little to no help from other people. Normally the Queen of Pentacles is holding the coin close, but here she's offering it up. And I think this is important to note, because when you give from the heart, you get back. The universe, the world, everything around you is a reflection of the energy that you're putting out. So when you hold money or things close to you, it's because you think that you're going to lose them and you're never going to have them again. But when you freely offer them, knowing that you're not only that you have plenty and that you can give, but also knowing that energy that you're putting out is only going to make you more abundant. It may not necessarily come back to you in the same way that you're giving it out, but it'll come back to you. And that's going back to the Star card in reverse, Spirit telling you to pay attention to the signs. Pay attention. Don't be so pessimistic and negative. Look for opportunities where you can maybe work with people that you wouldn't normally work with, or be friends with people that you wouldn't normally work with, or like do a new medium, or the new project, this new intellectual project that you're working on. It's new to you because it's something you didn't know and you're seeking to learn it. So it's like telling you, don't be afraid to do something different just because it's something that you've never done. And that's further driven home here with the Tower card in reverse. The Tower card in reverse, I think in this instance, is talking about an inner transformation that you're going through. And you're not avoiding change, you're avoiding a disaster. Because you are paying attention and you are thinking outside the box, and it's not something that's really scary to you because you trust that you'll be great, you'll be fucking phenomenal. And that's what the signs are telling you. Also to note, this particular Queen of Pentacles, in the After Tarot, talks about her being a combo of earth and air, which is literally a sextile. And that kind of blew my mind, actually, when that sextile card came up. again, alignments, paying attention to the signs. Not gonna lie, when I was pulling these cards, I had a little cry session because, yeah, and that is why this is a collective reading. All right, so the last card that we have here is Scorpio. This is the animal. This is transformative, again, transformation, intense, passionate, secretive, cardinal, obsessive, intimate, primal, lusty, deep, eternal, resourceful, mysterious, regenerative. Also destructive and manipulative, which makes sense here with these cards, right? So we've got the Hermit here, the Five of Swords, and the Death card in reverse. So directly below Scorpio, the animal, we've got, hold on, sorry. We got the Five of Swords, which normally talks about like you're feeling like even if you won, you feel defeated because you're separate. Like people are separating them from you, and you're like being combative, and like who wants to hang around that? But what I'm getting from it, again, because it's the after tarot, is that you're on your way to victory. That even though, again, the theme of feeling like you're alone, you got spirit on either side of you backing you up. You're never alone. And this particular Hermit card, normally like the Hermit card talks about only being able to see the next steps in front of you and trusting that as you take each step, you'll be able to continue to take each step and that the light is dim. But in this case, the Hermit is providing a light for others. A path for others, a beacon. And the animal here, one of the rocks that is associated with a color, and the rock that's associated with it is black and onyx. And this is like a dark companion that sees beyond what you can see and is always by your side. Now, that it's dark doesn't mean that it's good or bad. It's just a different type of energy, a very carnal type of energy, a very instinctual type of energy. And snakes are all about transformation, but in this case, the snake is referencing what is it, Moses, and his staff. That was a snake, but it was turned to a staff or something like that, and he used it to do magical things. This is also somebody that's devoted their life to being simple, no material possessions, a nomad. Now, this hermit is hermiting. It's usually talking about going within. And I think that's kind of what it's also talking about here is, but while you're making your inward journey, other people around you are seeing what you're doing, and they can't help but to notice you because you are a beacon, you are a light, and I think this is really just talking about like you just being you unapologetically, and you create your own way, however it might be. And, you know, the only way to overcome the devil is to stare it square in its eyes, to stand your ground, to not only emotionally but physically demand, even if it's not with words, but especially with your actions. Like, you are an unmovable force because you're living your truth, being your truth. And it doesn't matter if it's not pretty, because when you get down to the nitty-gritty of things, sometimes you got to get dirty. Sometimes it's going to be ugly, but it's real and it's true and it's raw. And with this death card here in the reverse, again, this is talking about major inner transformation. This particular death card, like, the only one that survived is the woman, and the sun is coming up over the towers here in the background. Again, I'm getting this feeling of feeling like you're alone. So I think right now this is a time of huge growth, and I think that this is also talking about being confronted in your outside world with obstacles. But instead of looking at them as obstacles that you don't know how to get through, you find your way through by doing the work, not only internally but externally, and creating the opportunities, creating your reality by not giving up on yourself, by believing in yourself, by pushing through all the obstacles that are presented to you, and then not being hard on yourself because, you know, when you look back, you're like, oh, I could have did this, that, and the other. Like, accept the journey for what it is and love yourself, and know that even though it seems like you're by yourself, you're the unassuming soldier that no one can defeat, not even death, and not the tower. So, and that is because Spirit is on your side. Spirit is here, and you recognize it. I truly believe that that's what this reading is talking about, that you recognize it. Let me just pull some cards for final messages for the collective, please, Spirit. All right. No cards want to come out, apparently. What's the final message we have for the collective? What do we got? We got the Five of Cups and the Two of Wands in the reverse. Right. Okay, so the first message I'm getting is, again, talking about feeling alone with the Two of Wands in the reverse, because normally the Two of Wands is only showing one person, but in this deck it's showing two people. But then here with the Five of Cups, there's another person and they need help. And that could be you, that could be a part of you, or it could be someone else. So I don't feel like there's a choice that needs to be made here, because I feel like you've already made your choice. You've already decided which way you're going to go with this. You're choosing an adventure. You're choosing, again, to be you unapologetically, which is so hard in society because they always want you to conform and compromise for the greater good. But sometimes some things just need to be said, regardless of who it's going to hurt. regardless if you hate yourself for it after you said it. Sometimes things need to be done regardless of how hard it is or how disgusting it is. You know, when you gotta fucking clean your toilet or something, or I hate cleaning the bathroom, I hate cleaning dishes, kitty litter box, all that stuff. I mean, that's very 3D stuff, but the really hard, gross stuff is the stuff that you buried within yourself that you gotta clean up. And you clean it up for yourself because you've decided that the clutter and all this shit that is like left over from other people that you've just decided to take on and say, okay, well, I guess this is who I am. You decided that you're going to decide who you are, and you're going to decide what you're going to do, and you're going to decide what you're going to say. And you're going to notice the things that other people don't because of it. Because you're not so bogged down with all of the shit, all the bullshit, all the things that really don't matter. You know, fives talk about change, and we've got 2 5s here for sure. And before I pulled these cards, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards and 2 I'm losing my train of thought, non-arcana cards. I don't know why. Trump cards, sorry. Or fuck it, I don't know, I can't think of what they're called right now because I'm thinking about other things, but yeah, you get the point. And with that many, or 3, but again, the queen and the ace are like the higher realm of those cards. When you get that many, let's just say high ranking cards coming out, I mean, this is definitely spirit working with you and for you. And always keep in mind that when shitty things happen in your life, that you can either let it be shitty and let it eat you up, and then you just like have this view of everyone and everything in this shitty, horrible, brown, icky light. Or you can realize that doing that ultimately dims your own light, and you'll end up losing your way in the dark. And it's hard to get out the dark when you can't see. Never dim your light for that bullshit. And the surefire way of not dimming your light is by asking yourself, what can I learn from this? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to attract this to me? The Hierophant in reverse. So going back to seeing what other people don't, you see, you're not going to adhere to anyone's rules, especially society's rules, when it comes to your truth. You make your own rituals, your own belief systems, your own routines, and you decide what's good or bad, if at all. A lot of times we have to get out of that I think that's part of this transformation, is getting out of that mindset of, oh, this is good or this is bad. It's all good because it's all for you. Okay, on the bottom of the card we got the Emperor. Is that not a good juxtaposition? I wasn't gonna pull that, but I was just like talking, and there it was. Like, the Emperor is the one who makes the rules, and he's the king of all kings. He is a solid rock, a solid stone. There's no toppling him. Represented here by Ram. You're not going to get through him without fighting, and it's going to be a fight. And I feel like that is what these shitty situations that you might find yourself in are trying to sculpt you into. An unstoppable, movable, not just, but it's more than just the Emperor, because it's embodying the free spirit with the Emperor energy. Transformation, new earth. That is essentially what we are in right now. Okay, so that was my reading, and I hope you got something out of it, and I really truly hope that it helped in some way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for viewing my content. Please like it if you liked it, please share it if you want to share it, and please subscribe if you don't want to miss anything I post. Alright, thanks so much. Bye-bye.